What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. You have just entered the war zone. Now, boy, oh boy, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Dare I say, MAGA is attempting to turn on Donald Trump? Dare I say that? Dare I say that Donald Trump is being investigated by the entire apparatus that he has built within the Republican Party? Dare I say that? It is mayhem right now. Mayhem. The Democrats are sitting back. They're not laughing either. They're like, yeah, see, we told you, but listen, their party is in shambles. The Democrats have trouble right now. Next term and the next go around, Democrats are probably not going to have large turnouts. This is probably going to be the case. You have the new American Party that's stepping in because of Elon Musk. The American Party is most certainly going to strip away from the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party. And MAGA, bro, you can't just wake up MAGA and think that you can just put them to sleep with a few words on your social media platform. Trump, you platformed MAGA. You created MAGA. You platformed them. And now you are attempting to almost silence them. They have demands. They put you in office, Sir President, because of certain demands that they wanted to get and see done by you. There was a clear mandate, President Donald Trump, a clear mandate all across America. America is tired of these games. Tired. Let's listen to what is going on for a vote to push the Epstein file into the public. What is going on?
On February 21st, 2025, President Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said on Fox News the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, quote, right now to review, end quote. Kash Patel, Trump's FBI director, said during his confirmation hearing that he would do everything, if confirmed, to make sure the American people knew, quote, the full weight of what happened, end quote. Patel, who now leads the FBI, said on the Benny Johnson show that the FBI was hiding the Epstein client list. Donald Trump Jr., the president's own son, tweeted out, I quote, show us all the Epstein client list right now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags? Ask yourselves this question, and then the answer becomes very apparent, end quote. And now, forgive me, but suddenly these same people are telling us there's nothing to see here. Trump is posting that we should all just move on.
And this is MAGA. MAGA, do you hear the veracity? Do you hear the energy? Do you hear the clear push, the clear signs of pushing through the barricade? Can you feel it? MAGA is not playing. They're not playing with Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. They're not playing with anybody. They're not playing with the Democrats. They're not playing with the Republicans. Hell, MAGA might switch over to Elon Musk's party, well, which is the American Party, because MAGA is not playing right now. MAGA is a faction of the Republican Party, and they broke off from the traditional grand old party, which is the GOP Republican Party, and created MAGA. However, they still are registered under the Republican umbrella. But now it's sort of like, let's move on.
Well, I want to know what the hell is in these files. And I think we all want to know why Trump is suddenly changing his tune and is so desperate to sweep this under the rug. But you know what? This also, what the hell is in these files? And I think we all know, why would anyone protect those scumbags? Ask yourself, tweet it out, I quote, show us all the Epstein client list right now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags? Ask yourself this question, and then the answer becomes very apparent, end quote. And now, forgive me, but suddenly these same people are telling us there's nothing to see here. Trump is posting that we should all just move on. Well, I want to know what the hell is in these files. And I think we all want to know why Trump is suddenly changing his tune and is so desperate to sweep this under the rug. But you know what? This also gets at his credibility. This is about trust. Republicans said, trust us, vote for us, and we will release these files. And here we are. They are backtracking. So I urge a yes vote on my amendment, and I yield back.
The clerk will report the total.
4 yeas, 8 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to.
What is Attorney General Pam Bondi hiding? She needs to release the Epstein files as soon as possible. I talked about the Epstein files under the Biden administration. I'm talking about it under the Trump administration. This is a case of the powerful protecting the powerful. We need to have those files released. I also note that the Epstein files that have already been released show that Trump is all over the files. He's in multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. There's multiple videos of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein.
I mean, when you say he's all over the Epstein files, okay, we know that Epstein was a friend of Donald Trump. But when you say that he's all over the files, what? Okay, that's what I understand what you're saying. Donald Trump is all over the files. He's in photos. He's here with Jeffrey. He's there with Jeffrey. We want to know what's in those files so we can exclude Donald Trump from any wrongdoing, if that makes any sense. That's where I think he's going with this.
Talking about it under the Trump administration. This is a case of the powerful protecting the powerful. We need to have those files released. I also note that the Epstein files that have already been released show that Trump is all over the files. He's in multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. There's multiple videos of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. There are plane logs of Trump on Epstein's plane. There are statements by Trump about Epstein. There are court pleadings of alleged victims of Epstein naming Trump. So we need to have these Epstein files released.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the
pressure for the first time. He's really, really under pressure. He's not scolding the media. He's not going after the media right now. He's seriously answering the questions, but probably not in the way that the media and I wouldn't want to say MAGA Republicans want to hear or conservatives want to hear. They don't want to hear that the Epstein files were made up by Comey and the Democratic Party. They don't want to hear that right now. Right now, they just don't want to hear that. The MAGA and the rest of America, and I'm talking about the Americans who have been through a lot here. They want a real country. They want true love, peace, and happiness. They want a chance to take care of their families. This is what they want. So, man, this is the first time I've ever seen Trump really under pressure. You know, he's handled pressure very, very well when it comes to the media. But right now, it looks like Donald Trump is under a little bit of pressure right now. Let's move forward.
Of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Credibility is very important, and you want credible evidence for something like that. And I think the Attorney General has handled it very well.
I appreciate your question, but this today is about fentanyl overdoses throughout our country and people who have lost loved ones.
So, see, that's how politicians do. They'll spin it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the dam that cracked and the river that's just flowing through the city right now. And no, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the Epstein files. What about the Epstein files? Yeah, that's what we want to talk about. Put the microphone right in their face. What about the Epstein files? That's what they do. That's what they do. Let's move forward.
To fentanyl. That's the message that we're here to send today. Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein.
Why would you talk about Epstein? That's crazy. Do you hear? Yo, they are under pressure. She flat out said nothing out of what? First of all, they put you in off. You would not be there if you all said we have to release the Epstein files. And the funny thing is, every last one.
If you're about to sell your home in the Buffalo market, there's one thing that can cost you.
In power right now regarding the security of America, head of the FBI, deputy FBI director, defense secretary of defense, bruh, they all was calling for the release of the Epstein files. Now it's like a complete 360, and people, listen, there is millions upon millions of people are just, they're tired of it. This is why they mandated that Trump get in there. Now it's like, what's up, Trump? But I'm like, I'm getting it now, but Trump is like attempting to protect himself because he knows that he's in there. I don't know how much and how deep of Trump being in those files he is, but it's not looking good. I can tell you that. Not looking good right now for Trump, MAGA. He had it all going for him. Just like he had it all going for him. You know, and now, you know, MAGA is out for blood. MAGA is out for blood now. Unfreaking can. Unreal. Unbelievable. I think it's going to be a rough going for Donald Trump. For Trump moving forward, people, man, it is not looking good for him right now. MAGA don't want to hear nothing else. They don't right now. They're focused on just the Epstein file. They don't want it. They don't care. They don't want to hear anything else out of anybody else's mouth in the media. They don't hear nothing out of Trump's mouth. They just want blood now. Don't play around. They don't want that. They want to break up all of that. No.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it. Here's how it works. First, go to riverside.fm and open an account, and then you'll be able to capture high-quality video and audio from practically.
Here's what Charlie Kirk. So
Tucker Carlson speaks at a rally given by Charlie Kirk, who we are not fond of, but I do like Tucker Carlson. I like how Tucker Carlson, he's just, he asks, when he's doing interviews, I like the questions that he asks. He's extremely knowledgeable, and let's listen to what Tucker has to say.
Real, and how it's okay to question. Here we go.
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting US president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me
It's going down everywhere right now. Boy, oh boy, we are hearing bombshell after bombshell after bombshell is just dropping all over the political sphere right now. Tucker is just saying the elephant in the room. He's just telling you, showing you where the elephant in the room is. He just pointed it out. It's just getting crazy. Whoa, that's bombshell right there.
Anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that.
Wow.
I don't know any of them that hate Israel.
Wow. And I didn't even know that right there. And wow, no wonder people are just angry right now. And it ties into Israel. People are upset right now. People are upset. We have been given endless amounts of cash and weaponry, armaments, you name it. Assistance, you name it. We have been given Israel all type of assistance. And now we are coming to find out maybe why we have been given all of these, or been so uh, quick to jump out of our shoes to help Israel. Maybe it's because a lot of these politicians are under pressure because they may be under some form of blackmail, according to Tucker Carlson, if that is correct from what Tucker Carlson is saying. And this is all alleged. But wow, let's move forward.
But no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think your house, you have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better.
Well, listen, that's why it's probably time for a lot of these politicians to be put under term limits now. And from what I'm hearing, there are numerous states that are implementing that right now, or attempting to implement those laws right now. So let's move forward.
Better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course, that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is, we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not? And yet,
And by the way, if Israel is paying for Epstein's blackmail, that means that we paid for Epstein's blackmail.
Yeah.
So just keep that. If America,
You know what else, Jimmy? The congressional records of all their weird sexual harassment, and I'm not allowed to say the name of the crime online. Those are all sealed. All the various awful sexual things people in Congress did, those are sealed.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying for every one of these degenerate pervert lizards to do what they do forever.
Okay, a little bit more.
everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on. What the hell was this? And by the way, if it turns out that it was nothing.
So, there's Tucker Carlson basically saying, hey, these answers that were being given by Trump and his administration about Epstein are not acceptable, and trying to shout us down and call us anti-Semites for asking these questions or whatever. This is also not acceptable. And he's saying that in front of some of the most conservative people in the world at the Turning Points meeting in Tampa, Florida, and they're applauding and cheering.
Wow.
Which is surprising because that's Charlie Kirk's thing, is it not?
Yeah, that's Charlie Kirk's thing, and Charlie Kirk is a Zion. I'm pretty sure he's a Zionist. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what that.
No, but I'll give Charlie Kirk big props because he brought Tucker Carlson there, and he knew he was going to say something like that, and he brought Dave Smith there, and he put him on stage, and now people are attacking Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk platformed Dave Smith, and he platformed Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, you mean the #1 newsman in the world? He let him come speak at your gathering? That's what he's supposed to do.
I'm sorry, I didn't know conservatives use those dipshit words like platform.
They are.
If you use that word, I hope you fall into a wood chipper. Anyone watching this, you go, you platformed. I hope you suffer a terrible end for ever saying that word.
I agree.
Why are conservatives saying that? Oh, because the woke right is that.
That's right. But those conservatives there were applauding and cheering
It's the thought leaders. You know the term
So
thought
and
leader?
so it's the quote unquote thought leaders, and it's the conservatives over 50 years old, because we've already seen the polls that Israel has lost everybody except conservatives Republicans over 50 years old. So those are.
Did you hear that? So Israel polling numbers are strong with the conservative base here in America, with the 50 and above crowd for the conservative base. My goodness, the whole political structure is in. This is wow. You know what? Let's move on.
Those are the people who still watch cable news, right? And they still believe Bill O'Reilly, and
people with plaque brain from not using their brain and watching.
Yeah,
the
people who take too many
TV. Yes.
people who take too many statins and can't think clearly, right? So if statins, you should look into that if you're taking that, because it makes you into a Zionist. But I think that's so. And here's what Charlie Kirk. So I honest, no kidding. Props to Charlie Kirk for having Tucker Carlson there. I think he's actually open to having people with different views. Obviously, he is. He brought Tucker there.
I don't like what he says here.
And here's what he has to say, because he wants to remain loyal to Israel, but he realizes it's a loser even with his crowd. So he can't
Piers Morgan will have people on, Jimmy. He'll have different people. Piers Morgan will have people with opposing views on, you might notice, which, okay, that's good on one. That's real basic stuff everyone should do. But the thing is, they're the thought leader. So they're going to watch Charlie Kirk now, divert your attention away. There's time to get amnesia, everyone.
So, but it goes, let me just say, that shows you that when people say, oh, people who like Trump are in a cult, most of those people aren't. The definition of a cult is you go along with whatever the leader says. They've been pushing back on Trump hard. Candace Owens said.
That's absolutely true, because I was thinking about that earlier, and it's funny he said that. Absolutely true. The way MAGA is moving right now, and MAGA is not just the conservatives and the Republican Party. No. MAGA is everybody who wants to make America great. Okay? Forget that. Straight up and down. We want to make America great, a new great. You know what I'm saying? A new great. And no, they're not, they're just not, they're not going for it right now. It's not a good look right now. But it's definitely a good look for everybody who wants to make America great again. You can see that MAGA is not Trump syndromed out. MAGA just really want to freaking get to actually recalibrate America. Okay, just like all of us. All of us want the recalibration of America done, and we want it done now. And it's been a mandate. And I mean, again, it's never been about Trump. It's always been about the cause. And I'm glad that MAGA is showing that right now. It's not about Trump, because if they have to scold Trump and trample over him, they will do it. That's a fact. You're seeing it right now. So.
Said she's embarrassed to tell people that to vote for Trump. There's Tucker Carlson completely eviscerating him over their Epstein bullshit.
See this, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I'm so upset I'm wearing my Wendy Williams shirt.
And MAGA, all those people there are against what Trump is doing vis-a-vis Israel.
Yeah.
So that it's not a cult, and not that MAGA needs me to defend them. I'm just letting people know, yeah, there are some people who think that their loyalty should be to Trump instead of the other way around. Trump's loyalty should be to you.
Mm-hmm. And Jimmy Dore has been eviscerating Trump. And he's right now, he's like he said, he's not defending MAGA, but he's letting it be known that MAGA they want what everybody else in here that has been here living in America one. Okay? Love, peace, and happiness, and we need the country to be reset. You let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'd appreciate you if when you come on in, you can smack that like button. I'd appreciate that. I will see you next time on the next video. Peace and love.